Okay, I took a break for just a second. One of the main things you have to be sure and do is prepare. And what I mean by preparing, you need to have everything that you need to work with all prepared. Like I have toilet paper to wipe with. Um, I've got my fan. A lot of people use ice cubes to try and put their stoma in. I found that a cold breeze helps a great deal because what I'm doing right now is working my stoma back in before I take this off. Now, as you can see, I have a glove on now. And the reason I would put the glove on, a lot of people use two gloves, I don't. But I don't normally get anything on my hands. However, I use this so that when I take my sheet off, I don't take a chance of scratching myself. Uh, the sheet comes off fairly easy, but you still got to work at it a little bit. Now, I can keep mine on for 3 days. I used to be able to keep them on for 5. But since I've gotten all these crags and crevices, you can see one right there. And when I sit down, there's a big one right underneath, and that's why I use the paste. So anyway, that's why I use the sheet now. So you start here at the top corner, and you pull with one hand, and you kind of scrape with the other hand. You get it started, and then you get it picked up. And every time you pull one way, you pull the other way. Like this goes this way, this goes this way. And you just pull it off at the top and work your way down. This part right here gets a little difficult, so you have to really push down and pull. Push down and pull. Push down and pull. See how it comes up? Once it comes off the top, it gets a lot easier. Again, you're still pushing, still pulling and pushing down. Pulling and pushing down. You always push against it, because if you don't, that's how you get sores on your skin. A lot of people use a pad that has alcohol on it to do this, but I do not like that. So then see how it does come down? And so, but then you have to wipe it and wipe underneath it good. See it's starting to come up. Now then I take this. And turn it the right way to help. Usually my wife does this part, but she's my film editor this morning, so I'm having to do it all, which can be done, it's just harder. Can you hold this? On here. Oh, I did get her to help me after all. She's more ambidextrous than she thought she was. See, to get cool, it doesn't do so bad. Now then, can you see this red spot around here? What I do, just to keep it from getting bad, is put powder here, which is what I was talking about, putting on a sore, and you push it down like this. And then you take your spray, you cover it so it doesn't go all over your skin, because you don't need it all over. And you spray a coat on there, and then you take the fan and dry it. And when that's dry, feel around and make sure it's dry everywhere, because sometimes you miss and you get some down here and it's got to be dried good. Okay, so when that's dry, now here's the hard part. With a prolapse stoma, you have to be able to work this with one hand. So I work it like this, and you barely touch it here. First, you have to get it up in here, see? And then you work it down, and you have to lift it up at the bottom to keep it off your skin. See, my finger there is lifting it up. Keep it off your skin. Keep pushing it down. Once you get it down where you need it, then you let it down. And then you can go around here and push down on it to make sure it's seated. Then this part I showed you, you grab a hold of it, you come around like this, and that takes it off the rest of the way. And then you got it all on where you need it. Now by then, you've pushed your stoma out pretty good if you've got a prolapse. If you don't, you can actually do this over the toilet. It's much easier. Now then, come to the second part. This part doesn't have any, it's all protected. This only part's going to stick for the first part of it. So you have to take it. Again, if you're over a toilet, this is easier. Lift this up. You have to work your stoma up in it. Okay. Then you have to get it straight here. So it's straight with this, and then you've got it square. And then you can put it here and here. And then you pull this piece off. See how easy and quick this actually is? Pull this piece off. The part that takes the longest is getting everything together and get prepared. Now then, as you can see, with a prolapse stoma, when you do that, it has a tendency to fall over the edge. So, take your bag, you get it ready, come underneath it like this with your finger, and you lift your stoma up and then place this in place. Now, the nice thing about this compared to the coloplast, and this is another reason I changed to Hollister, a coloplast you have to push down on it. Well, if you push down on a stomach that has no muscles, I mean, you can't get it hooked. With this, it has a lip that you put can you see this lip? You put your thumb under, and then you squeeze it together like this. And all the time you got your finger moving your stoma up out of the way. When you do that, you're done. And you've done your job. Now I use a belt that hooks into here because of the crags and crevices to help keep it in place. And then there's a second belt. If you have one like this, there's a second belt that will keep this in place when you're standing up so it doesn't come down into your pouch. It protects your prolapse so that you don't have pain in your stomach, and you don't you can, if it pulls out too much, then you got to have another surgery. So that second belt keeps that from happening. Again, I'm Ron. Thank you. I hope I helped. Bye.